What's going on, guys? Zeo here from the Awesome Art Show, and today we're looking at the Star Wars Black Series Wave 4 Attack of the Clone Wave. So we have 5 Attack of the Clone figures here from their appearances in Attack of the Clones. So first off, we're starting off with Anakin and his Padawan, so young Hayden Christensen, and then Jedi Knight Obi-Wan with his long hair, or his Jesus look. And then we've got 2 cool Jedis in the back here. We've got Kit Fisto, which is one of my favorite Jedis, and Plocoon as well. 2 very cool looking characters. I'm super excited they made both of these Jedis. I think they're super cool, so that is awesome. And then finally, we have a Geonosis battle droid, a B1 battle droid in the darker brown color, which is cool as well. So such a cool wave here. I don't care for a battle droid. I mean, we've had many battle droids before, but getting the Plocoon and Kit Fisto and then these 2 versions of Anakin and Obi-Wan are just super cool to me. So I'm excited to check these figures out, and I hope you are as well. So let's go ahead and open them. So we're starting off with Padawan Anakin, and it looks, of course, exactly like he does from Attack of the Clones. Figure's not perfect, like the body joints and stuff, but we'll look at that. But otherwise, it, looks pretty decent stuff. He's in darker colors, of course, since Anakin's, starting to get the feelings of the dark side and everything going on. He's got the darker, like, tunic over the top, the leather tunic with the dark color, almost black, the dark brown robe, and even, like, darker shirt underneath there. So he's got a lot of dark colors going on overall, just, starting to go more towards that dark side and everything. But there's a look at the face. Again, younger Hayden Christensen. I think looks really good. Of course, probably did face scan and everything. That's why it looks so shiny and stuff, but I think it looks pretty good there. Nice haircut, so he has, like, the weird, like, puffed up hair there, ponytail in the back, Padawan braid coming down there right behind his ear, and again his Jedi outfit there with the leather on top. The sleeves of his shirt have like weird lines in and stuff, so I like how they added texture into that at least. Belt on there with all sorts of little pockets and straps and everything going around there. Then there's the baggy brown pants there on his legs, and then dark brown boots there with all the lines and details going into it that they usually give for Anakin, which is cool. And the boots even have weird like little grips and stuff there on the bottom of it. So again, not a whole lot to look at. They're just pretty basic characters. So for movements, his head can twist all the way around there, and as you can see his neck joint there, he can look down about that far and then up about straight on. Shoulders come up a little under 90 degrees and can rotate around. Then he's got a single elbow joint that comes up about that far, so not even 90 degrees, just a tiny bit under, but it has the twist as well. For the wrist, they can twist around and have a little bit of flexing. Then we go to his crunch, which he has barely no crunch at all. That's one of the issues. I said, like, he has like no crunch, so he can just go a little tiny bit back, and that's about it. He just rocks back and forth about it, and then he can barely twist at all. He can only go about that much. So not very good in the movements for this figure. Legs come up about 90 degrees there and out to the side just a little. Then he's got the thigh twist and a double knee joint that's weirdly designed, so it has a little tiny like kneecap in there hiding behind the boot, but it has the 2 separations there, as you can see, and it goes up only about that far. So he has some of the worst movements out of all the figures. And then his foot will flex back and forth and can twist side to side. So as you can see, the figure's not that good. Some of the movements aren't that best. They don't have a whole lot of range of movements going on. So he's just pretty stiff and everything, which of course fits in with his Anakin Skywalker moniker, and so it fits perfect for that. But otherwise, the figure's not, like I said, not that great because he doesn't have a whole lot of range movements, and with his outfit, he just looks super dark and everything. The face looks great though, but everything else is just so-so. So if you want the Anakin, this isn't bad. It's just not a figure I would be going out of my way for. And it's Anakin, so we gotta give him his lightsaber. So he has a lightsaber there, of course, the classic Anakin / Darth Vader lightsaber there. It has a little like hole back there to, clip it onto his belt, but his belt doesn't have a clip on. I assume it's supposed to be right here, but it's not like puffed out or anything or sticking out where you can clip it on, so he has nowhere to stick it. So we just have his lightsaber there. Of course, blue lightsaber at this point in time, so I'll stick that in his hands. And so I'm trying to put the lightsaber in like both of his hands since he has 2 grip hands, and I can't even get it to go because the elbows like don't bend in enough, so I can't really get his hands close enough. So the only way you could really do this is to have him holding it straight in the center here, which wouldn't be too bad, but it's just weird that you can't really get it to bend around, to go up to the side or anything. So either I still just hold it one-handed or just directly in the center of him and everything. And it'd be fun too. You could also like take the arm and pop it out. Of course, it's real hard, so you'd have to like heat it up or something, and you can reenact later in the movie when Dooku cuts his arm off. So even posing him around is hard to do with this figure. And next up we have Jedi Knight Obi-Wan, which is really cool. This is always one of my favorite versions of Obi-Wan. The figure of course doesn't look that great, especially in the head area, but we'll look at that. But otherwise he's in just the normal Jedi outfit with the tan tunic on there over the top, and then he has almost a white shirt underneath, which is a little bit weird. It should match more of the pants, which which is a cream color, then the dark brown boots, of course belt around there matching Anakin's, and again another basic figure and everything. But if we look at his face there, so Ian McGregor, and I think, you know, face looks pretty good, you know, probably did face scan again, so it looks pretty good. But his beard and his hair is just way too light a color, and then they did a wash over it of gray, so it looks really weird. But his beard is, you know, just like normal blonde. It almost matches his outfit and everything with the color they chose. It's just way too blonde. He has, you know, more brown color hair, so there should have been a brown. But a nice beard there, of course. Like I said, people always say this is Jesus look or say he has mullet hair, but of course this is definitely not a mullet. It's just in the grown out process. And he's got, like I said, the wash over the top, which is just like a gray color, which looks really weird. And it just, you know, looks dirty. From a distance, it doesn't look that bad. You know, it darkens up that hair color, but just up close, it just looks so weird with like that gray color on it. It's just such a weird option that they chose. And then the body, which is, you know, going to be the same. All these figures, you know, pretty much have the exact same outfits on and everything, so nothing too different there. Nice brown leather boots, doesn't have all the lines like Anakin's does, and then they're flat on the bottom. And again, he's more in brighter colors compared to Anakin. So for movements, so it's going to be the same pretty much. So head can twist all the way around. Doesn't have much knotting in there. He does have the joint, you know, there up at his head, and then right at the neck you can kind of see the line in there. So it has that sort of joint, and so it has a little bit of movement going on there, but it allows for the twisting, so that neck joint can twist there all the way around as well. The shoulders do come up at 90 degrees there, and do have a butterfly joint there. Again, it's hard to see, but you can see that in there, and then can rotate all the way around. And then he's got a single elbow joint again that has the twist in it. The wrist can twist around and flex, but again, the flexing is limited because of the design. Then we go to his ab crunch there, so he can crunch a little bit back and forth there, so better movements than Anakin had, and then he twists there as well. Legs come up there about 90 degrees and can go out to the side a good bit, so he can be close to doing the splits. He's got a thigh twist in there, a double knee joint that comes up really far that can kick his own butt, and then the foot flexes and twists side to side. So overall, much better figure than the Anakin, has a better movements and everything. But then of course we got his lightsaber there, so the Obi-Wan lightsaber with like the ball design there on the end of it. He has the peg that can go onto the belt, so instead of the clip, he's got the peg there, and then just normal lightsaber with the blue once again. So we have the hole there, can pop into his belt, so it can hang on there obviously if we want to take the blade off, but we want to put this in his hand instead. So with this, I can get his hands there together, both hold the lightsaber, and you can get it to move up and everything over to the shoulder, off to the side. So that's very cool there. Again, better movements than the Anakin had. So overall, the Obi-Wan's a much better figure. And next up, we have Kit Fisto, which again is my favorite, and he looks really good. Like obviously the colors and stuff are still not that great. He's got a darker tunic on there and like a lightish brown color instead of the tan, and he's got dark pants and the same boots as Obi-Wan. And speaking of that, he is the exact same figure as Obi-Wan, so body-wise they are exactly the same. They just have different heads and hands obviously, but other than that, they're the exact same design and figure, just obviously repainted, which is fine. But I still like the look of this because I think just his look overall with the alien features and stuff looks super cool. So of course Kit Fisto is a Nautilus, so he has the long tentacles there on the back of his head, so he's got, you know, like a lot of squid influence, so he's got all the like tentacles that look like dreadlocks, of course, coming off of his head going to the back, and they even have the bands on them, so leather like bands there around on each of the tentacles, and then holding some together there, and even the ones coming down to the front. And I like how they had the little splotches on them and stuff with like the gray, and then painted the end of the ones on the front at least, and even added the bands there. But on the back, they have the bands, but they're not painted in, and then just have some of the gray up there at the top. And then the color's a little bit off, you know, it varies from what he's in, so sometimes he's got, you know, more of a brown color to him, or sometimes a green. I like the more green color where it is a green, but they use like a dry brush brown over the top of it to kind of darken him up. So I feel it's just a little bit too dark, but it's not too bad. There's a look at his face, so he's got the big old like alien style eyes there, and mouth and nose and stuff, so it doesn't look too bad overall. And it's just not to me like that classic Kit Fisto look. But as I mentioned, he's got the exact same body as Obi-Wan, so nothing too drastic there, but then he's got his hands there in the same matching colors, so it's got a little bit weird sort of finger stuff like points on the end of him. So for his movement's going to be pretty much the same as Obi-Wan though, so his head can twist just a little. Obviously all his tentacles here get in the way, but he can twist his head side to side and then just look up and down, again within the tentacle range. Shoulders 90 degrees and has the butterfly joint the same, and of course rotates around. And then we've got the single elbow joint comes up there a little over 90 degrees and can twist. And then we got wrist twist around and flex. Ab crunch there, so same as Obi-Wan, so it has more movements than Anakin does, but still not a whole lot, but can twist all the way around. Legs come up 90 degrees out to the side about that far. Thigh twist, double knee joint that can kick his own butt, and the foot flex and twist side to side. So again, the exact same as Obi-Wan for the movements. And then another cool thing is his hand there, so he has an open hand there. It looks almost like he's trying to do the Force or something, using the Force on the battle droid like he does the knock over the battle droid that has C-3PO's head on it and everything. But then he also comes with his lightsaber, so there's a look at his lightsaber there. Just, you know, looks like basic lightsaber, not really known for his iconic lightsaber or anything, but of course he is green, which is my favorite color of lightsaber. lightsaber, so that's cool. So we'll stick that in his hand. So there we go. Now Kit Fisto is ready to enter the Geonosis battle arena and kick some battle droid butt. And next up we have our other alien Jedi of Plocoon, and this looks really cool. Unfortunately, he has this robe on over the top, which I'm sure we could take off. We'd probably just have to like pop his head off or something and slide it off of him, but the robe just covers up everything, so that's a little unfortunate. I wish you could see him a little bit more and get better movements, but again, all we'd have to do is take the robe off. But this is my brother's figure, so I don't want to mess with it too much. But still, Plocoon looks iconic for Plocoon. He's a Keldor alien, so that's why he looks so weird in the face, and just very cool overall. And one thing that I noticed about this figure is he's taller compared to all the other figures. I didn't look up to see if they have like his height listed or anything, but he does seem tall. So like here's the Obi-Wan compared to him. You can see there's much of a height difference between the two, which is really weird. But overall looks pretty cool. So there's a look at his face. Again, the alien face there just looks super cool. As the things over his eyes, you know, it must be like eye patches or something, but they're like graded and everything, so that's pretty cool. Then the breathing mask over the top, so maybe not be able to breathe normal air or anything, so he has the breathing apparatus. And I like how the big long prongs that come down off the end of it look cool. And then he has, well, you know, reminds me of like the Princess Leia buns on the side of his head, but just whatever his skin is there, comes up and wraps around and goes into the tubing as well. So I'm not sure what's going on with his alien body, but it's just very iconic for Plocoon. And there's a look at the back of his head, all the wrinkles and everything going on. And then as I mentioned, he has the robe on over the top, which is a nice robe design. You know, it's big and baggy, has a hood on over the top here, so it's really big and everything. So we put it on. It reminds me of like Obi-Wan from episode 4 when he first appears. He has the hood over his head and stuff. That's what that reminds me of. It's hard to like get it to sit on his head properly, but he's got the hood on there, and I like how it's got the attached fabric here on the front that's attached there in the center. Of course, it is attached, you know, together, so you can't take it off too easily, but it's got this extra fabric here, and then the rest of it's just, you know, like the normal robe. Nice sleeves coming down, everything. So it's not like too big or overly baggy. Like it's baggy looking in the front, which, you know, with a robe they usually are baggy like towards the front and bottom and stuff. But otherwise, you know, the hands don't seem too big. The hood lays nice and flat there in the back, so not too many issues. But underneath for his outfit, I'm pretty sure he's got the same sort of outfit, you know, like Obi-Wan, or maybe more like a Mace Windu maybe. It's more of an actual brown color in there. Has a lighter brown or gray shirt underneath that comes up to his neck, which again, it's hard to see. I like how it even has like the collar coming up to his neck. It's almost like a turtleneck on him. And of course the sleeves come down there. I like how they're bunched up there at the bottom. And he still has the same sort of belt on there. Has a little bit of stuff missing, but pockets and everything. And of course the tunic comes down in the front. Brown pants under there, and then a lighter brown boots, you know, more leathery. Remind me more of like Mace Windu's or something. And then of course also he's an alien, so he has weird hands. So like there's a look at his hands. He's only got 4 fingers, but he has the fingers that come up with long fingernails at the end, and then like his middle finger there has the like metal claw there on it. He has that on both of his hands, which is cool. So again, for movement, it's going to be hard to tell, but his head can twist there side to side and all the way around. And he has the 2 neck joints once again, so it allows that much nodding. Then again, the shoulders come up 90 degrees, and it feels like they have a butterfly joint in there, and I'm sure they can rotate. Single elbow joint once again with the rotation in it, and the wrist twist around it. Again, not much flexing at all, because like the wrist joint is really close in there, so you can barely flex at all. Same sort of ab crunch and twist there right at his waist that you can see up in there, so the same joint there. Legs come out not too far. It's really stiff between like the leg joint itself and then the material up here. It kind of keeps it down some, so it can come up about that far. If you push it, you can get it up to 90. And out to the side about that far, then he has the thigh twist up in there and a double knee joint that can bend up pretty far, probably kick his butt. It's just hard with, again, with all this fabric. And then the foot flexes and twists side to side. And then of course we have his lightsaber, so there's a look at his. So he has like comes down to a point there at the bottom, which is pretty cool. So nice hilt there and a blue blade for him. And so you can probably stick it into this hand where it's kind of more open, so it can be like a more relaxed hand on the lightsaber where he's like doing opening you kind of thing. Or if you want, you could make him a left-handed, since his left hand is a full grip. You know, take it and slide it into there like that, and then make his right hand be doing the force and stuff. So it gives you more options there for what you want to do there with Plocoon, which is pretty cool. And finally we have the Geonosis battle droid, which we've had multiple battle droids. They haven't changed anything with them, so there's not a whole lot of new stuff to look at here. Again, he's just in the darker brown color to match with the Geonosis, you know, blend in more with the sand. And he's got all the dents and dings and, you know, scrapes and stuff all over him with the silver paint there to look like he's been in battle some and taken damage. Of course, the normal battle droid head there with the weird like slanted eyes, the backpack on the back there that you can pop off, and it has the antennas on it as well that you can pull up there and do that. And then just the normal battle droid body with the same joints as usual, so we'll go ahead and do that. So the head has the nodding there, and it has the little like tails or whatever there off the back of its head that do move out of the way, so you can get really good movements in the head and some nodding in there because it is like a ball joint, so it does have some twisting in there as well. But you have more twisting down at the neck, so again, it's got the neck joint that's kind of pushed down in there, so if you do that, you can't really get much twist, but if you pull it up a little, it allows you to twist it all the way around there, which is cool. Then the shoulders do come up about that far, so about a 45-degree angle, and can rotate around. And we do have like a bicep twist or something right up here, so it can twist the arm all the way around. Then we got a single elbow joint that comes up about that far, so pretty good, and can go obviously back the same amount as well. And it has a twist right there at the end of the elbow as well at the forearm, so that's pretty cool. Then we've got the wrist that can twist around and has the flexing as well, so pretty good movements overall in the arms. Then we have a little bit of an ab crunch there and has a tiny twist as well, so you have just movements up in this joint. And the two pieces off to the side do allow some movements, but you have about that much of a crunch. Then at the hips, they do just move in and out just a little bit there, not a whole lot, but they do come up and can pretty much rotate all the way around, which is cool. And then the single knee joint that can bend all the way up and can fold up into itself there, so you can try to get it to do its whole sitting down thing like it does in like episode 1 when they come out of the MTT, so where it's all folded up like that. So that's always pretty cool. And then at the foot, we have flexing back and forth, and then a little bit of a twist side to side right here at like the ankle joint, but it has this little peg in the front that keeps it from rotating all the way around. So really good movements for the battle droid, but unfortunately with all the movements and the joints get loosened up and everything, it makes them hard to stand. I always have to fight and mess around with these battle droids to get them to stand, and then like they get joints that are twisted to the side. He always looks like he's twisted crooked and everything, and it's just really annoying, but there we get it to stand. So also it has the backpack, but it also comes with the other little antennas here. So for this, you just pop the backpack off, and then you just take the antennas and can slide them in there on either side. I don't think it really matters, but I just always do that side, so it's sticking up there behind his head. So that's just an additional option. And then he also comes with the basic blaster for the battle droids there, which does have a little peg here that can go into the backpack on the side, so it can attach onto there, but we want a battle droid, so we're going to put it in his hand. So there we got the gun in the hand, and the nice thing about battle droids is it's not hard to get guns in their hands at all. They just have so much movement and stuff throughout their whole body, it's easy to put guns in their hands, so that just looks super cool. So that's going to be it for this Star Wars Black Series Wave 4 Attack the Clone Wave with all figures from Attack the Clones, which is really cool. So we got Anakin and Obi-Wan, along with Kit Fisto, Plocoon, and a Geonosis battle droid. So very cool set overall. I love the whole Kit Fisto and Plocoon. They're just absolutely make this set. And then having these versions of Anakin and Obi-Wan are nice to add to the set too. So I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, let me know in the comments down below, and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to check out our last Star Wars review over here on the left, and all our Star Wars figures on the right. Thank you all for watching. Remember to stay awesome out there, and I'll see you next time.